So yeah, the Chicago Sky are looking like a disaster. Like, looking absolutely like they are a disaster. They started off the year 3-1. They were on fire, and then one of those wins was the game where Kia got injured. I think it was against Minnesota Lynx. Like, Minnesota have lost 2 games this year. One of them was against like this Sky team. This Sky team and the Dream, who are second place, are the only teams who have beaten the Minnesota Lynx. And this Sky team were obviously the ones that that people just expected to be decent. I thought they were going to be good. Like, we all thought the pick wasn't going to convey that, the Sky, it doesn't really matter when it comes down to it with the Chicago Sky or with the Sky and Mercury's pick, because the pick's not going to convey. You've got Skylar Diggins, you've got Natasha Cloud, and it does matter that Rakia and Haquez have gone down. Or Hawkins, however, Gabriella have gone down. I'll never be able to pronounce her name. Whatever way I'll say, it'll be wrong. But the two of them have obviously gone down, and it doesn't help things. When you lose 2 of your best players, it does not help things at all. And we can be very honest here. Like, losing some of your better players is never a situation that is, like, quote unquote helpful for a team. That being said, when you've got Skylar Diggins, when you've got Azurá Stevens, when you've got what's her name? When you've got Sydney Taylor's kind of hooping. When you've got Camila Cardoso, who at this stage, Camila Cardoso is very, very close to getting put in the massively overrated category. That, like, there's a reason why there are no 6 foot. You're the only 6'7" player that starts for a team, other than Brittany Griner, who is the greatest 6'7+ player in WNBA history. And Griner is kind of, I'm not saying Griner is no longer a starting level player, but like, she plays in the worst team. You've got the Sky and the Sun are 2 of the worst 3 teams in the WNBA, and they're the 2 teams that start 6'7+ players. Azurá Stevens, I know she's been injured. She has not been good. Natasha Cloud, I don't know what she does anymore. Like, there's a reason why people didn't want to sign her. But, like, I'm going to be real. I don't necessarily think that, like, people are talking about it, but I'm like, I don't know if Natasha even plays defense anymore. I don't know. That should not be a crazy statement to make. That Natasha Cloud does not really play defense anymore. Like, I think when it's all said and done, like, she's not been a good defender. She's been a really bad offensive player, and this is the first time you're like, okay, this is why nobody wanted to sign you. This is why nobody wanted to sign you. Like, she's not, she's just not been good. Again, I'm not saying she's the worst player in the world. But, like, when we're talking about a player that has expectations based on herself, that she was betting on herself, was nearly out of the league because of it, was wanting to play for huge money, wanted a big contract, and they're on a 5-game losing streak. They're on a 5-game losing streak. And this is one of those things where you're like, this team is just bad. They're just bad. That's the only way I can describe them. Like, there's nothing that I can say being like, oh yeah, like, this team will figure it out. Like, Courtney Vandersloot coming back is not going to change the directions of a franchise in 2026. A 37-year-old Courtney Vandersloot coming back from an ACL tear is not going to change the direction of your franchise. Is it going to be a benefit? Yeah, but, like, you're a bad team if you're, like, hoping that Courtney Vandersloot if you're waiting on Courtney Vandersloot to come back and thinking that changes anything. Nobody has a clue what's wrong with Gabriella's knee. Nobody has a clue what's wrong with her knee. Rakia's out for the year. And again, if you are really bad, you're giving your pick to Washington. Which is a big, big problem. Like, you could potentially giving up Gigi Watkins or Madison Booker or Hannah Hidalgo to Washington. And this is a Sky team that, and I went on TV and said I thought this team was going to make the playoffs. I think most people thought this team was going to be in and around the playoffs. I don't think anyone thought that this team was going to be second last in the Eastern Conference, only to freaking Connecticut. That only Connecticut were going to be a worse team than them in the East. Like, and Connecticut are at least fighting. They're getting killed, the Sky. Like, they beat the Lynx. They started off 3-1. A great win against the Valkyries. They beat the Fire, which no one thought was a good win at the time, but beating the Fire in Portland was a great win. The Wings game, they were up nearly all the game and they blew it. They were up most of that game. The Lynx game, they were kind of in it, but they blew it against the Tempo. And then they got killed their last two games. They got absolutely killed. And now it's like, they're suddenly down. Like, if they had won that game yesterday, they go 4-5 and they go at least tied with the Washington Mystics. They go tied with the Mystics and they put themselves in tie with the Sparks. You're what? The playoffs is one game above 500. You're one game off getting back in the playoffs. Now suddenly you're 3-6. The 8th seed is the Portland Fire, who are 6-5. Like, that is the 8th seed right now. On a positive for the Chicago Sky trying to fight their way into the playoffs, like, Toronto and Portland are probably going to start dropping games. Like, they're not as good as the Vox were last year. Neither of them are. And we saw yesterday with the Vox killing Portland. That's the positive thing. The negative is that, for me, there are 5 playoff locks. Like, the Lynx, the Dream, the Wings, the Aces, 6 to be honest, the Liberty, and the Vox. There are 6 playoff locks, which means I think Washington will fade away, but Indiana, Portland, Toronto, LA, and Chicago are fighting for 2 spots. They're fighting for 2 spots. And if you're asking me who's most likely to get them, I still think you'd be a crazy person to bet against the Indiana Fever making the playoffs. And all that means is that if we want to be completely real about it, there's a chance that it's between Toronto, Portland, Washington, LA, Chicago for 1 playoff spot. And the more Chicago lose, the more likely Washington are to try go and win games. Like, it's just the thing. Washington are only going to tank as long as the Chicago Sky are good. But yeah, I'm looking at it here and I'm just like, this team is screwed. They're screwed.